Good morning and welcome to the Daily Word from Pulaski Heights United Methodist Church. My name is Jay Clark. I'm one of the pastors here. It's the day after Easter, and it's Monday, April 18th. And so it's Easter Monday, and so now what? You know, we had these big celebrations and remembrances all last week. And so now we hit this time of, well, what happens after Easter? How do we stay on that same path? And I think I ran across an article by Ray Hollenbach, who is a pastor, and he made some suggestions that I want to elaborate on, but I also want to give him credit for getting me to think about this. And that's going back to the first chapter of Acts. It gives us some things to think about. Of course, you know, after Easter and after the resurrection, Jesus appeared to the disciples and was around for 40 days. And so I think that's one of the things that we remember as we look at, many people know that Luke and Acts were written by the same person. And so I want us to look at 5 vital steps of how to continue this path in these 40 days after Easter. So the first one, and I'll do that every day this week. The first one is to discover what Jesus is doing now, what Jesus is doing all around us. One of the promises that Jesus says to his disciples is that he still has more to do, and I think that's still the truth. I think that there's a lot of ways that Jesus still has more to do in our lives, in the church's life, in the denomination's life, in a lot of places. And so that's one place. But Acts 1 says, "In my former book, I wrote all about how Jesus began to do and to teach until the day he was taken up to heaven, after giving instructions through the Holy Spirit to the apostles that he had chosen." And then it goes on to say, "After his suffering, he presented himself to them and gave up many convincing proofs that he was still alive." So we proclaim Christ is risen today. We did that yesterday. Now we need to continue saying it and remembering that Christ is risen indeed. I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you in the morning to talk more about how we can continue this being Easter people after Easter is over. Blessings.